snow bunnies are there, so therefore they want a taste of everything, right?
Yeah, like culture sampling, yeah.
What does the N-word mean to you?
I hate that word, but have I used it with the A sound before? Yeah, with my close friends.
I don't like, I don't like when Africans say it.
I'm sorry, what?
Hi.
What's up?
I'm Kaisida.
I'm Abdul.
I'm Khalif.
I'm Jordan.
We're doing Africans versus African Americans Truth or Drink.
It's not really verses, but
Well,
it's
I
just,
don't know, and.
Black girl, African gentleman.
I'm hella African.
I'm black. Hey.
First generation, both my parents were born and raised in Nigeria. My tribe is Igbo, and I stand on that.
Period.
Yeah. They're the best
Well,
tribe.
my tribe is Compton, and I stand on that.
You want to start with the shot?
Yeah, sure.
I like Hennessy.
How you gonna take my shot glass?
I was pouring you a shot. You know I'm a gentleman.
to being black.
To being black, yeah. Who do you, okay. Why did I get started off spicy? Who do you think gets laid more, Africans or African Americans?
Africans, to be honest, because snow bunnies are there, so therefore they want a taste of everything, right?
Yeah, like culture sampling, yeah.
What is a snow bunny?
Yeah, you gotta clarify that one.
A white girl that likes African American.
Listen, this is like white people are gonna see this, including in here.
Americans or Africans or just
Black
black
people
people
know.
in general.
I mean, honestly, I feel as though Africans have the gift of gab. I feel like they really want it, they're gonna get it. So I would say Africans get laid more. Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yes, I actually would agree. No, I live in an apartment that is predominantly Africans and African Americans, and most of the African people I see walking around has a lot of kids.
Yeah, well, yeah, we got here somehow, so.
Yes.
There might be a lot of different types of American women who might judge African men and would not want to sleep with them.
Yeah, I would say probably black men.
Black men?
They be out here.
Yeah.
I feel like African men be presenting as more got it together too. You know what I'm saying?
The Nigerians,
Like,
especially.
yeah, shoulders up. You feel me?
Yeah.
Chin up.
Yeah.
Like they walk around with confidence.
Exactly.
How do you feel about the term African American?
It just feels a little confusing simply because to me, the African American culture and the African culture does not have camaraderie like I feel like we should. And I always feel like I don't really identify with African American because that part of the African side don't really embrace me. So I'll be like, I'm black. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I would embrace you. You're cool people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I don't like when some people say it.
When like the super allies
Like-
say it.
Yeah, African Americans. It's like, oh.
For like black people in America, like we are as American as it gets because we've been here for better or for worse since the creation of the country. Versus like when you say like African Americans, it kind of denotes like a generation ago, this generation, 2 generations ago, they're from a different country. But it's like, no, we've been here longer than like half the white people been here.
Take a shot if you have ever used the term African booty scratcher.
Absolutely not. I was called that.
Me
I was
too.
definitely like African booty scratcher. People used to call me Midnight.
I got called Midnight too.
Oh, Dark Vader.
Yeah, me too. And I
They
love
used to
Star
call
Wars.
me. I no.
You don't like
I
Star
would never
Wars?
watch it because of that.
Darth Vader, Darth Vader, Darth Vader.
Okay, so
Wait, what's
Dark
his name?
Vader. His name is Darth, D-A-R-T-H, but people would call me Dark
I'm
Vader.
sure black people does not know his name is D-A-R-T-H.
So they knew enough to call me that.
They call me D-A-R-K, Dark Vader.
Oh, maybe it was a combination of both. I know they called me that though. I knew what they were saying.
It was a play on words.
Yeah, probably.
I just think black people didn't know, to be honest.
No, the black people. I mean, I don't know. My elementary school, they knew.
I think they knew.
They knew.
I don't think they knew.
What does the N-word mean to you? Do you think you take offense?
Please do not interject, white person. I've been awfully quiet throughout this entire process, including not even delivering information that I do know that they haven't discussed, like the animosity that certain first generation African black people sometimes feel or demonstrate towards black people living in the United States of America, which is basically the underlying tension in this entire video that they don't really fully mention. The real tension is the top of the hour ad break, though. You did right now, though. Yeah, I mean, for example, is really fully just inside of black people's business, but like first generation African people sometimes will call black Americans Canadians as a substitute for the N word. Like to imply that it's like something different than being black. But it doesn't really matter because like first generation African people, regardless though, will come to terms with, you know, the fact that the reality that it doesn't matter because white people and racist people in general do not make that distinction between someone who's like a first generation African person versus a black person. Anyway, top of the hour ad break is upon us. Regardless, here it is. How do you categorize turkeys? Is in that middle spot?
To it as much as African Americans do.
Turkey's
Depending
turkey.
on the context. I've
The world
seen
is turkey.
people consciously not say it around people that they view threatening or like, oh, that's a real black person versus like, oh, Abdul, he's fucking the
They think
engineer
you're like
Abdul.
unharming.
Yeah,
Think you're cool.
I'll sing along with this song and I'm like, oh, Abdul said it was cool with me. That shit pisses me off. Yeah.
I hate that word, but have I used it with the A sound before? Yeah, with my close friends.
Can I don't like.
What is the difference between black Africans and black Americans? What do you mean? Think about it. Think about it. First generation people immigrating, just like myself, okay, oftentimes come from significantly more affluent backgrounds, okay, from their individual countries. Like they come from way more affluent backgrounds because they have the capacity to be able to come from a place like Nigeria, for example, to the United States of America, meaning that like they're, you know, they're wealthy, wealthier than the average person. So there's like an immediate class distinction in most circumstances. Whereas black people in America are African descendants of slaves for the most part. Therefore, they have withstood a tremendous amount of white supremacist violence. So there are significant cultural differences. Like very different cultural, there are very significant cultural differences. But the immediate one is like class distinction. It's pretty funny, though, to think that like there are no cultural differences between a black person in Africa and a black person in America, like in North America, just because they're black. That's the whitest question I've ever. It's like, bro, what do you think? You think like you living in America and some fucking Scandinavian dude have like the same worldview and shit? Like, Come on, you're white. So is he. Bro, you live in Ohio. You know what I mean?
I don't like when Africans say it.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't like when Africans say the N-word.
With the just any type of way?
We're different. I do hear you and understand you, right? Every African, I promise you, every African that says the N-word, I tell them, do your parents say it? And they all be like, hell no. And I'm like, so why do
parents would
you?
never.
My parents say it, my grandparents say it, they grandparents.
I think the difference is they grew up here usually. You know what I mean? First generation migrants, they grew up here. So they are, you know, you're black at that point. Versus like someone who came here as an adult, you know, it's like, it's way different. That's what it is. Or second generation, or even first generation. If they came, like, if someone comes here when they're young, when they're super young, they basically grew up here. They grew up as a black person in America. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter because your experiences as a black person is defined by living in a white supremacist country. You're no longer living in a black country. You're living in a white supremacist country. As a teenager, you're growing up in a white supremacist country. Every cop and every figure of authority that talks to you is not making that distinction, which is why, like I said, don't talk Hassan. I agree, but don't do this. Okay, everybody needs to calm the fuck down and stop walking on the eggshells. I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm actually saying the correct things. Okay, Jesus Christ. It's like white chatters telling me to shut the fuck up because they're so terrified. Calm down. I'm not saying anything like inappropriate or fucked up. But I mean, I've yeah, I'm so sure every white dude didn't call Africans the N-word. Wait, what? Not every person. What are you talking about? It doesn't have to be like that is very white. We just assume that like racism only manifests when like a white person, when you're walking down the street as a black person, a white person walks up to you and calls you the N-word. Like, that's not the fuck are you talking about? That's like the tip of the iceberg and the most ridiculous part of it. Oh, you're brown? Oh shit, never mind then. My bad, bro. Oh, you're brown? Shit, fuck. He didn't even have the decency to lie and say he's black. Anyway. Also, Africans in America feel weird, like cops stop them from being black. They aren't accustomed to being a minority group. That's why I said, I've talked about this before, like with friends that I have known for years and years at this point. Like, when they first come into the country, okay? Like, when they first come into the country, they have this animosity where they feel superior almost, okay? They're young. They come for college. They're young. Feel like they did not, you know, they're just almost oblivious, I would say. They've only seen like white supremacist, like living in a white supremacist society on television. And then ultimately they realize that the institutions treat, you know, first generation African immigrants in the identical way that they treat black people and African descendants of slaves, like people that have lived here for multiple generations. Why did you raise your hands when he said he was brown? Why are you reading? Like, I was fucking as a joke. Like, oh man, can I not respond in the way that I want to? Like, the fuck? What level of parasocial are we on right now? What?
My parents say it. no African parents, grandparents in
Yeah, I would say mine
You get
would
what I'm
never.
saying?
Yeah.
So we gotta work hard to get rid of it. It's like y'all picking it up because it sounds fun.
I'm glad that you shared that with me because I never heard someone have an issue with African people saying that word.
Ooh. I think you should get your shot, right?
Good save. What do you think I meant? Why do you think I raised my hand?
Ready at this shot. At this.
Talk your shit, twin.
Name 10 African countries in 30 seconds or take a shot.
Ooh, 30 seconds? You're rude.
You got 30 seconds, try.
That's not a lot of time, actually, for someone who's had tequila. But I
You
don't know
can
the
try
difference
it.
of I don't know the difference of countries and cities.
We'll find out.
Morocco, Cote d'Ivoire.
That's a good one.
Is Zimbabwe one?
Ethiopia, Ghana, Nigeria.
Niger, Chad.
Somalian, Nigeria.
Kenya, Gambia, Somalia.
Halfway there, halfway there, halfway there.
No, it was 10 or 5.
It's
10.
10.
Damn, you're
What about
crazy.
that guy? What about that guy?
Nigeria.
West Africa.
That's a region.
It's okay. Go ahead and take the shot. It's fine.
Zimbabwe. Why am I blanking?
Sinhalese. Is that a country? It's a city?
We're close. I'll accept. I know what you meant.
Madagascar, South Africa, Equatorial Guinea, and Mali. Oh, bam.
Yeah.
See? See?
Senegal. No.
Senegal. Not Senegalese. I was thinking of my twins.
Lord Jesus.
What do you think white people dislike more?
Honestly, I still don't think they really know the difference.
Yeah.
And a professional.
Dude, white people don't even understand the difference between like listen. White people for the most part don't even recognize differences between like Indian people and you know like someone from fucking Iran, okay? Like they can't even distinguish between like I mean, they literally don't know the difference between Indian people and Native Americans, OG white people. Like, yeah, they can't distinguish between Desi and Mena. Like, they sometimes can't even distinguish between like, you know, Mexicans and different like Mena groups. You know what I mean? Depending on where you are, it's just like, it just doesn't matter. Whoever like the more dominant minority group is, like they'll just assume you are that. Stop, mother man. That's crazy.
Setting, I hear a lot about white folks really preferring to work with Africans because we really are a lot more submissive in a way.
I think they hate black people more than African people.
They hate the descendants of slaves.
The model minority myth exists heavily in the African community to where like they've been brainwashed to think that black is bad, everything else is good. They're the good ones. This is what you should be as a minority. Go to school, be polite, all the respectability politics.
Everybody black, it doesn't matter. Anybody who's perceived as black, they just see us as black people in threat. And the more chocolates you are, the more issues you're going to.
One of the things I used to talk about all the time, Twitch used to be like, I mean, Twitch probably still is a way more racist place, but even this community had like way more racist interlocutors that would come in here all the time. And one of the things I used to love bringing up always is the education statistics for Nigerians. As far as like immigrant populations goes, Nigerians have the highest percentage of higher learning. Like the highest the highest like graduate school degrees percentage of, can't even talk, holy fuck. Nigerians out of any kind of group in the United States of America is the most educated group in the United States of America. Highest percentage of grad students in general, way higher, like significantly higher than white people. If you look at white people, if you factor white people across the board, a fun fact that will frustrate every white supremacist. They will get very, very butthurt. Every time I bring this up, people go, "What the fuck? No shot." They used to. No, I think it's Indians, not Nigerians. No, it used to be Nigerians, unless it's Indians now. But I doubt that they would change. Which, by the way, is no, not from Africa, man. Way higher than white people and higher than, bro. People are doing it right now. No, it's Nigerians, man. It's Nigerians. We're not talking about income levels. I think Indians might have the highest income levels, but Nigerians have the highest percentage of higher education. Educational attainment in the United States. Let's take a look. African immigrants have been among the more highly educated group in the United States since the 1990s. This phenomenon is largely related to the brain drain in Africa. Yeah, that's part of it. And I've told you why that is the case. I talked about it in the beginning of this conversation. If you are capable of coming to the United States from Nigeria, that means you have either demonstrated exceptional education, and you know, received scholarships and whatnot, or you come from, and sometimes both, by the way, you come from a very wealthy family who is capable of sending you to the United States of America. Okay? That's the class dynamic at play. That's it. It's IQ. It is a major detractor from the bell curve, which also measured IQ. What? Did we find one? Did we find one of these guys? What are you trying to say? Clarify. I think we got one, but he didn't even understand. He didn't even understand what I was saying, I think. Like, he thinks the book, The Bell Curve. Bitch, I know what the bell curve is. Explain to me what you're trying to say right now. You think I don't know what the fucking bell curve is? What are you, crazy? I'm a political commentator online since like 2014. My man said the bell curve. Oh man, that's crazy. He's about to drop some facts on me. Bell curve destroyed. Oh, I think he's saying this like disproves it. Is that what it is? Like what I'm talking about? God, he's not explaining it. Okay, never mind. The IQ bell curve is a joke? Yeah, of course it is. It's because, one, IQ is a shitty metric for success. Like, completely the dumbest metric for success. You can train to get a higher IQ score. And there are plenty of studies conducted on IQ that shows that even something as simple as like your diet can genuinely and dramatically change your IQ number. Studies conducted in India during famines during seasonal droughts versus on the same people during seasonal droughts versus like times when there is enough food have led to gigantic leaps in IQ points in the same people. I think he was just saying the bell curve is faulty and racist. Nigerians score high on IQ, not just educational attainment. Oh no, he is a believer in the bell curve. Never mind. Wow. We were trying to be so nice to him. Yeah. Not just success, it does not even measure intelligence properly because you cannot operationalize intelligence as a construct. Yeah. I don't understand. What is the book about? The book is a pseudo-scientific justification for racism. It's the most modern, it's probably one of the more modern race realist books out there. It's bullshit. There you go. The short and sweet of it is that it says that like black people have lower IQ. That's literally what the book is. I'm not even kidding. And white people are smart. Well, no, actually, I think they say Asian people have the highest IQ in it, don't they? Yeah. It's bullshit. Sam Harris kind of propped that dude up. It was pretty weird. No, it wasn't. Sam Harris is a fucking gigantic piece of shit. It's only weird if you were sucked into Sam Harris's bullshit Islamophobia early on and were a bit of a Reddit atheist and like were captivated by that rhetoric and you thought he was actually an intellectual titan when in fact it was just literally a Muslim hating piece of shit who was intellectualizing all of his arguments when it was just reactionary nonsense. There has never been a moment in my life, at least, where I've been like a big Sam Harris fan. But I guess that is my background. I'm sure plenty of people in here have gone through their Sam Harris phase as well. I'm saying what you're saying. It's bullshit was my point. The minorities they wanted to shit on scored the highest on their own racist IQ tests. Oh. I think the book says Jews have the highest IQ but manage to be racist and xenophobic to everyone it mentions but white people and Christians. Sam Harris got absolutely fucking eviscerated by Noam Chomsky. If you guys want to read something fun and funny. Look at the email correspondence between Sam Harris and Noam Chomsky. I'm not going to get into it right now. It's too long.
Don't have, honestly. Yeah, they
don't agree.
I don't think they can. Really? Okay, do tell.
I feel like if me and another dude is standing side by side and we get approached by the police, I think that if he has an accent, it's going to make him less dangerous.
The police?
Yes.
Maybe I missed the question. I just thought you.
Oh, you're right. Well, white people, I think of all white people as police. Period. They all, okay? White people police black people, for no reason.
Take a shot if you've ever said Wakanda forever.
Have I? I've definitely have at some point, but not. Like at some point, yes.
I might take a shot with you.
To Chadwick Boseman.
When the first movie came out, I took a girl to go see it.
Yeah.
She's African American.
Yeah.
She legit asked me after the movie.
Oh no.
She said, "Are you from Wakanda?" I was just like.
Okay. I've never asked that. I gotta say that.
Like, are you serious right now? Like.
I've said Ruth Conda forever. That's right. Because I'm that kind of lib. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, baby. It was a troubling time. Yeah. It was me and my 5-year-old daughter. When she found out that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, she got up and said, "Dad, Ruth Conda forever." And then I said it too. And then I took a knee.
In what ways are Africans misunderstood?
I think we're misunderstood maybe kind of on the topic of like my home country, right? In Ethiopia and having war in Tigray. When I told my coworker there's war that just started, he was like, "Oh, but doesn't that happen all the time?" That was his response. Someone I respected and I enjoyed working with him, brushed it off.
I'm fully convinced that like some white people I've met still think like most of Africa is just like dirt huts.
Yeah, like living in huts, not having water,
Yeah.
not really having food.
There's 54 different countries in Africa. It is unfair to just lump all of Africa into one, to like, oh, you said you're from Africa? I have a friend from Nigeria.
Like people aren't interested in the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
Good. Emotional at the end.
I know.
I don't like
I
that.
feel all warm and fuzzy.
There were some things we agreed to disagree on, you know, but finding that common ground of we both were called African booty scratchers, that was deep, you know?
And Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And we're both chocolate.
I have no idea what that
The
means.
darker the berry, the
But
sweeter
that's
the
probably
juice.
because I didn't grow up here, but I don't want to know anyway. So it's good. I'm happy not knowing what the fuck that means.